Vivian, I think this was fantastic. I've listened to a lot of your speeches, and I think a lot of them had great points, but I must say I do believe this one was different. The thing that stood out to me the most was your pacing, your use of pauses, and your emphasis, and you never sped up. You never got carried away or went down a tangent, and it really like and you're really easy to listen to. You're always very everything flows very nicely, but with this it really felt like you tightened it up a lot. Like I followed along. Everything was very clear, as it always is. You reiterate your message beginning and end. You have your opening remarks, your closing remarks. Your opener was fantastic as always, very relatable, very expressive, which plays right into your subject matter. So that was great across the board. I'm trying to read my notes here. Informative. Yes, I think my favorite phrase, was about midway through, was presence of mind. Really captured what you were getting at. So even though I know you didn't memorize your speech, but you had some really concise nuggets of information. The Also, the afraid smile was probably the most, again, just captured exactly what you were trying to say and gave us a perfect example of it. The call to action and the advice on recording and listening and observing ourselves was great. And reiterating your message, face matching the words, all phenomenal. The only criticism I could really think of is perhaps, I mean, it ran a little bit over time, but marginal. What is the? I don't remember the exact margin of error, but it was at 719, so it was not. Yeah, it was well within the limits, I believe. Challenges or something you could work on. Nothing came to mind immediately. This would probably be something I would have to think about more on. I'll try to make sure I write something a little more concise, but it's difficult. I would say I would suppose in a larger audience, because I know with a smaller audience, it's probably a little easier to tailor, like, you're only speaking to three guys in one age bracket. But if you had a larger audience, be prepared to have other ways to be relatable throughout the speech. This is about the only thing I can think of, but I'm sure you're already used to that already, with your background. But that's all I have. Thank you. It was a joy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jason, for your lovely evaluation. And yes, I'd like to reiterate one thing that you mentioned, Jason, just for you, Vivian. This speech particularly impressed me because you followed one thread the whole way down, one continuous thought that you drew from beginning to end and never departed from. I'm very impressed. You showed incredible growth, Vivian. Excellent job.